How's it going? So I want to give you all a little bit of an update of where we're at with the Land Cruiser, where we're at and what we found when removing the bed liner. I'm like 99% done removing that stuff. It has not been fun, but we got it done. We're now just getting ready to remove all the paint, primer, get it down to bare metal before we start. I guess what we're gonna do next is patch up some of the stuff, some of the rust spots or holes that we found, and some spots where there was rust previously, but they've patched it up, or the previous owner has, you know, patched that up. But yeah, for now, let me just go ahead and show you what the truck looks like now, where we're at, and what we're gonna do next, and the spots that we found underneath the bed liner. So here's where we're at currently. You know, we got almost everything stripped off. We've been working on it for about a month, and you know, working on it after work and on the weekends. We've been using a variety of things: a chisel and a hammer, a stripper, aircraft remover, and a wire wheel. So we've been doing a little bit of everything. You can see we also got the roof is also completely done. No more bed liner on the roof. As far as rust goes and holes or patches, we did find some, a little bit more than I was expecting, or a little bit more from previous, but I'll show you right here. So all this right here, all this is redone. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it looks like it was like Swiss cheese under here. And from what we can see now, it looks like what they did was they put you can see it here a little bit, they put a piece of plate underneath, tack welded it in place, and then filled everything in with fiberglass. So you can see I'm not sure you can see, but you can see the tack welds here. So it's all right. At least they got rid of all the rust that was on there, but the way they did it is, I don't know, it's okay, I guess. So we're gonna get rid of all the fiberglass and see what it looks like underneath, to see if we're just gonna fill it in again. And I guess here you can see a little bit better. So here you can see where there's the plate that they just tack welded, and I think this one is more a Bondo, or actually it looks like there's fiberglass there as well. So yeah, we did find some spots on the tailgate. There's a few spots here, pretty minor. It looks, but it does look like the rust was removed and just filled in with Bondo. On this side, it's here it's fine. It's original. There's no rust. Hasn't been patched up. But we have the same situation going on right here. So yeah, that's where we're at now. I think there's a little bit, oh well, one thing that we've been looking at, we're trying to figure out what happened here. So at first what we thought was it was a rust patch, and you know, they patched it up. But after we cleaned it up real good, it doesn't seem to be a patch, and we've kind of felt underneath, and it's not a patch. What it looks like, something was placed here, and then it started rusting around that amount or whatever was on there. But the funny thing is, there's no holes to show. I mean, obviously there's holes, but there's no signs of any bolt holes that were used to mount whatever was here. It's really weird. We're not really sure what happened here. Kind of interesting. But if any of you guys have an idea of what might have been placed here, or what was used, and why it created this rust, we're just I mean, we just interested and curious to find out, you know, what did they have on here that created this rust. Because on the other side, there's nothing there. On the other side, it's fine. And you would think if they had something on one side, they would have it on the other as well. Some more rust. We did find a little patch right here, so I had to get that all taken care of. And I think another spot we found was right here. So I mean, and overall it's pretty good condition, except for whatever happened over here, which is actually kind of a big spot, but we'll get it taken care of and get that fixed up. Just to show you what it looks like afterwards. Here we've been wire wheeling, so you can see what it looks like after we wire wheel. And then over here, this door was kind of with the chisel and hammer and trying to peel off all the liner, so that's what it looks like afterwards. With the chisel and hammer, it looks much cleaner when you wire wheel, that's for sure. But for now, like I said, what we're doing is we just trying to strip off. For now, what we're doing is trying to strip off all the primer and paint that's on here. I think we put a coat last night. You can see how it's peeling away. I got some more strippers so we can use on the hood. It does have quite a thick liner of primer that they used, and just to make it easier to get it down to bare metal, and so it's a lot easier on the roof as well. One other thing I did do meanwhile is one of the locking hub mechanisms was broken, or at least one of the springs was broken on it. I went ahead and just got a whole new locking hub mechanism and replaced the one that was broken. So I got that done, so I'm back in 4-wheel drive, and I'm thinking I'm going to do the same for the other side, just so they're matching and new, and then keep the old ones just in case, maybe rebuild them. Also, another thing that we found out is when we redid the tie rod ends, when I was putting these wheels on, let's see if I can show you. Here we go. When I was putting the wheels on, I still noticed there was some play in the wheels, and I didn't think that was right, so I asked my buddy if there should be any play, and there shouldn't have been. And what we found out was that the tie rod ends have this adjuster plug right here. You can see the cotter pin that's in there, and typically, or from when he redid his tie rod ends on his 60, this adjuster plug was already adjusted and locked in place with this cotter pin. Mine wasn't. So that's when we figured out, you know, why is there so much play? Are these tie rod ends, you know, defective, not good? And then we did a little bit of research and found out some of them come adjusted and already good to go. Mine was not adjusted. It was actually very loose, and the cotter pin was not in. So when we got that adjusted, everything is is solid now. So I'm excited to drive it and feel how much better it's gonna be. Once we got these adjusted, I really haven't been driving the truck because we've just been working on getting the bed liner removed. But there is another one on this side. You can see here that also has that adjuster plug that needs to be tightened or adjusted, but now everything is solid and good to go. And we did do a little drive, and it feels much better. There's like almost little to no play in the steering. You know, when you start turning the wheel, the truck starts turning as well. Before, there was a lot of play in the wheel before the truck actually started turning. Just a little update on that. Good thing I really hadn't been driving it with those adjuster plugs loose, otherwise I probably could have ruined my brand new tie rod ends. As far as the grill goes and the little vents and everything, I have been buying some things. The grill, I was able to find, I don't think it's an OEM grill, but aftermarket grill that I found. So I'm gonna replace that grill because the other one was coated with the bed liner, and it was gonna be a really big hassle to remove it all. And I'll probably go ahead and redo that the same for these other grills that are on this side and the ones here, because those were also covered in bed liner. As far as the bumper goes, the bumpers also, both of them seem to be in pretty good condition physically. The other one's in the back of the truck, somewhere back there. But yeah, as far as the bumper goes, we're looking to get those just re-chromed. That's just a quick little update on the truck. Kind of finished getting that remaining bed liner off, and then we go ahead and get it stripped down to bare metal, get some fix all the body work, then we get ready to paint. So I just applied some stripper probably maybe like 20 minutes ago, if that, and it's working amazing. It's just starting to, all the liner just starting to, or not the liner, the primer is starting to bubble up, and it's gonna make it super easy to remove. And so I just did the hood first, and then I applied some on the roof, and it's gonna make it super easy to just chisel off. And I'm not gonna have to be bending over with a wire wheel trying to wire wheel all this stuff off. So I'm super excited about that. I'm gonna be applying more to the parts that we haven't wire wheeled, such as these parts that are just like chiseled off and there's still some paint on there. And yeah, get this down to bare metal so we can get started working on the body work and finally get it painted. So it's now the next day. I've applied stripper pretty much anywhere that I found paint, and it's done. Well, the hood's already had probably a couple of layers of stripper. I had a really thick coating of primer, and but now you can see it's down to bare metal. A lot of it's actually kind of just blown away. Here I might need to still apply a little bit more, but yeah, a lot of it's starting to bubble up. You can see there. And now we just gotta scrape it away, maybe do just a little bit more wire wheel, but it's almost getting complete to just bare metal, so we can do the body work that we need to get done. And once we get that, we'll get it primered and painted. Looking pretty good. Can't really see how the roof is right now, but let's see how it looks. Hopefully it's kind of bubbly. Let me see. Let me get up here. Shit. Let's see if I can get up here real quick. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good. Should be able to scrape a lot of this off. As like the hood and some other parts, I'll probably have to apply a little bit more stripper. But I think one more coat and it should be completely off.